Okay, well, it's 3:55 Eastern on the dot here. Hopefully, I think you guys can all hear me still. I'm getting lots of party flashes in the session. My name is Nicole Ronchetti. Also here with me today is Nick. I have a hard time saying Nick's last name. Nick, can you say your last name?
Heuer.
Heuer. Heuer. Um, we are both product managers here at Nuvei. If you noticed in the some of the comments and the chat, I was also the former acuCONNECT president for a few years, so it's a little bit of a reunion. Um, I'm really excited to be a part of this session today and show you guys all that we have to offer at Nuvei, and learn really how to enhance your whole AR process with more than just credit card processing. I do think that a lot of times, there's a lot of credit card processors out there. There's a lot of different things you can do, but sometimes people kind of oversimplify the whole credit card process and think it's just running the credit cards when there's so much more that you can do than just authorizing credit cards and doing e-checks and that sort of thing. So today we're going to be walking through and showing you some of those different things that kind of set the solution apart and show you some different features that can really help improve that process. Nick, you want to flip over to the first tab, the first slide? Thank you. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background on who we are, sometimes you'll see the name Paya, you'll see Paya, a Nuvei company, or you might see us being referred to as Nuvei. We're all one company. You can call us either name. We won't get insulted. Paya was purchased by Nuvei in 2022. I came on board last year. I've been at the company for a little over a year now. One of the reasons, Paya was widely known in a lot of the ERP channels for credit card processing, also formerly known as Sage Payment Solutions before it became Paya. So a lot of people have been familiar with both the Paya name and the Sage Payments name as well. Nuvei is a much larger global company, but focused on gaming and global markets. So it really was a happy marriage between the two companies because Paya had such strong ERP experience and Nuvei had such a strong online and global markets with alternate payment methods. So it was really great to kind of join those two companies together to be able to expand our international reach within the ERPs to different currencies, different payment methods outside of just standard credit card and ACH. So we're really happy about that merger so that we're able to, provide more solutions uh, globally outside of the US. Next slide. And all in all, too, sometimes depending on how familiar you are with our company or what we do, we are both the credit card processor, the integrator. So we handle the support and service and sales on a full circle solution, right? So whether you're a bar, an end user, we have teams dedicated to each of those different types of businesses. So we can support you at any life of the product. When implementations are done, those are handled by the ERP experts, the people like Nick and myself, right? So we're the people doing the installs, working with the businesses on the training, and helping to find solutions to their processes. So whether it's a back end gateway error or an ERP error, you can reach out to us for support with that. And again, from a bar perspective too, you have your dedicated bar teams to assist you there. Today, next slide. Today we're going to be going over primarily three features that are really awesome. This is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to come on board at Nuvei is just understanding all that they're continually putting into the product to improve it and to make people's lives easier. So three of the features that we're going to talk about today are scheduled payments. So you can automate those transactions from inside the ERP and set up those recurring payments that'll work for you, which is a huge time saver for people who have recurring payments. We'll also be going over pay by statement. So if you're familiar with like click to pay, that's our essentially a click to pay functionality on a statement format. So you can pay all of those documents in one fell swoop. And then we'll also be going over our fee recovery features as well too. So three really awesome features from a credit card processing and payment processing standpoint that we'll be going over today. Nick is going to be performing the demonstration of those features. So I'm going to be passing it over to our acuMatica product manager, Nick, and he will take it from here.
Thank you, Nicole. And can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for everybody for coming to our session today. So like Nicole said, I'm just going to jump right in, and we're going to go over a few of our features small amount of features we have. We have a lot of other features in our integration, but these are just a handful that we felt would be a great opportunity for people to see here at the acuCONNECT. All right, so let's just jump in. We're going to talk real quick about the scheduled payments. Scheduled payments is built so that you don't it doesn't require you to have an invoice. So you can schedule the collection or processing of credit card transactions however you need. So think of this as like you're gonna offer extended payment terms, maybe, right? You're gonna say, you know what, if your credit card's on file, we'll give you 3 months to pay. We're gonna charge your card every day, or not every day. We're gonna charge your card once a month on the 15th day for the next 3 months until your balance is due, right? We're set one dollar amount, we'll divide it by 3 and we'll set it up so that we'll just automatically charge your card, right? So it's one kind of use case where you don't necessarily have to have an invoice for every time you're going to have the payment. Maybe you already have an invoice for just one invoice. Now you can just take the 3 payments and they can be applied to that invoice, right? So let's take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start a new payment here in acuMatica. We're going to select my customer. And we're going to do an amount. So we're going to do 3 payments of $100 here. So we'll set it for $100, and then I'm going to select this customer's credit card. We already have a card on file, so we don't have to add it. If we didn't have a card on file, you can just add that to the customer. But here we have a card on file. So now we have our payment. Now we're going to set this payment now as a schedule. So we're going to select our 3 dots here, and we're going to select new schedule. This will bring us to the schedule screen. Here I'm going to build my schedule. So if you're familiar with acuMatica, you've probably seen this screen before. Similar to how you schedule the processing screens, right? Similar to how you schedule recurring invoices. Same look and feel. So we're going to set this one up for 3 execution limits. We'll just name it, 3 monthly payments. All right, and we're going to have it run monthly, and we're going to have it run on once a month on the 15th. So right, and we'll just lie here, and we'll set our start date to the beginning of the month. So once we have our condition set, we're going to save this, and now basically on the schedule, this will just run. So we're going to just kind of emulate that here. So I'm going to go to our generate recurring payments screen here. Once this comes up, so this would be something you would just schedule. So this would be running, on a schedule, maybe nightly or however you want, and it kind of runs to make this process more automated, right? So I'm just gonna act like we're on the 15th here. So our payment will show up. So here's our schedule. I want to go ahead and run, again, this could run in automation or not, but I'm just going to manually run it. And we'll run this. This will run and generate the first payment in the schedule, right? It's that simple. So essentially, this process would run fully automated, and it will generate those payments. So once the payment is generated, one additional step, and again, it's another schedule, another automated process that you could run in acuMatica. But we're just going to go ahead and take a look at it here in the screen and see how this process runs. So in banking, we have a capture payment screen. So what we're going to do is, because this is a scheduled payment, again, you would set this up to normally run on a automation, so you wouldn't have to really do this, right? It's a fully automated process. But we're going to filter this out and show only scheduled payments that need to be captured. So here's our payment that was just created from the schedule. I'm just going to select here and process this. And then it's just going to go out and capture that customer's payment. So this is, again, this process can be fully automated. So once you set your schedule up to run, it just runs. The cards are captured, right? We can go back into receivables here and we will see our payment. So my system comes up here. Here is our payment. This payment was created from that schedule, and then we captured it just now, so it's fully paid payment, right? Fully integrated. This payment can be voided, refunded, just like any other payment that we do in our system, right? So that's one look at one of the features. So the scheduled payments is a nice feature for people looking for that, additional level of automation, right? Streamlining your processes, right? So the second feature Nicole talked about was pay by statement. So we have our click to pay feature, which allows you to do links, payment links on sales orders, invoices, sales order quotes. So you can send a link out and your customers can pay those links, right? We've also extended that functionality to payment or statements. So I'm going to go to my customer here. I've got a customer that does statements. They've got a couple invoices here. We're going to take a look at our customer. It comes up. And we see our customer has a balance, $750, right? So let's go ahead and generate a statement for this customer. So we're going to use, Acumatica's normal statement process. And we're going to select generate statements, prepare statements. And I'm going to act like we're at the end of the month here. I'm going to process statements, and this is going to go out and generate all the statements. Then we're going to go back to that customer, and we'll take a look at how their statement looks. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to email this statement out to this customer. Once this finishes. So once the statement process here for our click to pay, there's two ways that we offer, or you can work with click to pay in our integration. One is what we refer to as anonymous links, and those are going to be links that the customer just can receive for a single document. They select that link, they pay that document, and it brings in, right? The other way is through our Acumatica Click to Pay customer portal, which they have full visibility in all the documents that you've allowed them to see. So they can see and manage credit memos, debit memos, statements, on-demand statements, their sales orders, their quotes, their previous payments they can see. They can see their credit cards that they have on file. They can manage their billing addresses for those credit cards, right? So it's a lot more functionality. Part of the statement, pay by statement functionality, is utilizing this portal. So now that we've prepared our statement, I'm going to go ahead and email this statement. Right, so here's our statement. I'm going to process this for emailing, and then we're going to go look at this customer. We'll see this email that was sent out. The customer is going to receive an email, and this is what it's going to look like here. So here's our email the customer received, right, and we've got a little button here, and they can click on this to pay their statement. It also includes the statement file here as well, and they can click and scan an image to pay their statement as well. We're going to go back here. And now the customer's selected this, they're going to see their statement. Nope. So in order to see their statement, they need to log in. They can also see a PDF of it, but we just saw that. So we're going to go ahead and log in as this customer. So now I'm the customer, and I want to see my statement and possibly make a payment. I'm going to log in. I hope I'm going to log in. Okay, well, that. Let's try this one more way. All right, well, it looks like I cannot log into my UAT here. Nicole, are you able to log in on your side? Bear with me. I'm sorry about this. I was just in there, and now I cannot get in.
Nick, I'm messaging her too. And thanks everyone for your patience. We appreciate it.
If I can't get in here, we're gonna pivot and we'll just go to our fee recovery because I don't want to run out of time here. All right, so one try here. I'm in. I think it was a browser issue. I switched to Chrome and now we're working. Apologize for that. I'm in. Okay. So I've logged in now. I'm as a customer. So this is completely brandable. So this can be set to look like your site. So you can have a logo. You can change the colors, right? So here you can see we have our statement, and like I said, you can see all their other documents as well. They can see their sales orders, any quotes that they have to pay, and if they have an on-demand statement. But we're going to go ahead and process this statement through. So all they have to do is click here. This will bring up the detail of what's in the statement. So they can see each individual document that's in their statement and decide the pay. They can set which ones they pay. So they've got a couple past dues here. This one's not quite due yet. So I'm just going to select past due. This will automatically select any invoices that are within their statement as past due. So you have maybe, this is a pretty simplified view, right? I only have 3 invoices. Some customers may have more than that, right? So simplifying, they'll be able to select just their past due here. So, and not have to select every of them. It kind of streamlines the process for them. So once I've selected that, I'm just going to select begin payment. And then I can enter my payment. So I could use my saved cards. I could pay by ACH or e-check, pay by credit card. I'm just going to pay by credit card here. I'm going to enter my credit card details. Again, customer, just enter my expiration date. And then I'm going to set my address here. All right, make sure I'm not a robot. We're going to submit this payment. If you put an email address, the customer will receive a receipt. So they'll get an email receipt as well. And then here I'll get my payment successful, transaction number, and then it'll actually send an email receipt. So now we're going to go back to acuMatica. You notice here this just updated. And if I click back in here, I see my balance due. And then I can see that these both invoices have been paid and we have one that's unpaid, right? So it's updating instantly. So now we're going to go back into acuMatica and we're going to run a process here to sync that payment in. This process runs in the background. I'm just doing this for purposes of showing how the payments come into acuMatica. This is, again, something that's fully automated and would just run. You wouldn't be running this manually. We're going to go ahead and process this payment in. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the customer's record. So this will bring the payment in and apply it to the invoices that were paid as a single payment in acuMatica. And both those invoices will now be showed as paid and closed. And customers' account balance will be updated. And this process here is normally a process that's scheduled and runs. It's not, to be fully automated. So if I look at our customer details, bring up our payment here. So we have a payment that's been brought into acuMatica. It's closed because it's fully applied. And here's our invoices that it paid. Single payment applied to multiple invoices, paid via link, via statement. Right? So I know we lost a few minutes there because of my browser issue, but let's try to take a quick look at our fee recovery functionality, and we will maybe have some time for some questions if anybody has any. I hope we'll try to get through this, right? So let's go to a sales order here in Acumatica. We're going to start a new sales order. We can, anywhere a payment's taken, the fee recovery piece works, right? So part of the fee recovery is you're going to create a fee rule in Acumatica. You're going to set the settings of the fee rule. In my case, I set 3%, and you're going to apply that fee rule to a payment method. It's not restricted. Our integration here is not restricted to credit card or ACH. It can be set to any payment method inside Acumatica. So maybe you do wires and you want to charge a $25 fee for wires, right? You can do that to any payment method in Acumatica. It does not have to be a credit card or ACH. We're going to set our customer. We're going to add an item here. So I'm doing this in a sales order. Again, any payment method can be used here. Any way you take a payment inside Acumatica, it all does the same process. Our fee recovery also will work with Click to Pay. So if you can extend it all the way up into Click to Pay, so if they're paying links, you can also extend the fee as well, right? So I'm going to select Create Payment. This will bring up our payment screen that everybody's familiar with, and then now you're going to see our fee rule. Because this payment method has a fee rule assigned to it, it automatically processes through. If you have multiple fee rules, you can select them from here. I don't have multiple ones. You can override. But essentially, it's going to pull it in. It's going to calculate the fee amount. So I'm just going to run this card on file since we're short on time here. I'm going to capture it. This is going to go out and create a payment. Apply that payment to the sales order, just like everything else in Acumatica. But we're going to, once this payment's created, we're going to dig into the payment, and I'll show you the GL batch that's created and how the fee is offset and how it looks in your financials. Right. So credit card payment, just like our previous payment we did, fully integrated. You can refund it, void it from Acumatica. You do not have to do that out in the gateway. So once you go ahead and drill into our payment, we have our payment here. You notice here we have our payment amount, which includes the fee. We have our request to pay, and then we have the apply to order, and then our fee amount, right? We have a breakdown in here. If I go to our financial tab and take a look at this GL batch that was generated, you'll see that there's an additional line that's added, and that's the offset of the fee. So I have it going to an accrual account. I know the accountants out there probably say that's probably wrong, but that's just the account that popped up when I set up my payment method. But normally, it would, probably send it to expense account. And then when you bring in your fees at the end of the month from your credit card processing, these offset each other, and hopefully you break even, right? That's the goal, is try to offset those fees, and you don't have to. So again, I have it going to an accrual account. Probably should be an expense account, but it's a quick look at some of our features. I know, we're coming down just a couple minutes. I want to, give any time if we have any questions. And then if anybody has and needs anything else, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to assist and answer any additional questions. Like I said, this was just a little view of what our integration can offer. We have a lot built into that Click to Pay portal because we feel it's an extension of the ERP. So big, we allow parent-child relationships in the Click to Pay portal, pay by statement, credit memos, debit memos. They can manage all of their documents. The customer can now manage all their documents. So.
Awesome presentation. Thank you so much, Nick. And like Nick said, we have another minute. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask that in the questions area here in the session. And if you are interested in learning more, you can stop by our booth and click on the register interest icon, and then we can follow up with you after the event. And Nicole also put our email address where you can reach us at erp@nuvei.com, or feel free to reach out to any of the three of us during the event today and tomorrow. So thanks for joining our session. Nick, any final words?
No, I just want to thank everybody for joining the session, and please reach out if you have any questions. We're always happy to help.
Enjoy the rest of the event, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you.